kick rocks, chew gum, grow hair, chew rum, kick glocks. Why is all the... What's up with that? My hair and always clumping, motherfucker. I did meditations today, and it worked. But I realized some horrific things about the way I've been living for a long time. Things had traumatized me, and I didn't realize that the personalities of those people was out. I did a huge meditation today, and it was pretty big. It got all the squirrels riled up, and they came to the cabin and were like, you know, it's like, I need you all to stop fighting me for spiritual dominance, please. I'm trying to do trauma healing work. And it took like an hour to get them to go away. But eventually I figured out there's this one moment that was really traumatizing a few years ago, where it felt like someone else had sort of like, when I say spiritual rape, it felt like they really got into me somehow. No diddy, but kind of diddy. And I realized that for the past 3 years, I've been talking, acting like the guy. I even started looking like the guy. And the guy had even said something like, it was just a really confusing day. But that guy started looking like me. His posts started looking like mine. He started talking like me. His voice got lower as mine got higher, because I used to have a deep voice. And I think it was like actual form of ritualistic spell work. I'm not sure if he was like at an altar doing that now, and then I'm gonna go get him and scare this innocent guy who doesn't know it's real. I think he just did it. And it like really bound me for a long time. And I'm trying to fix it, but it always feels like it's constantly hitting me. And I forgot that I forgot about it. Because it used to tear at me all day. Like all day, all I could think about was that moment, that traumatizing situation. And feeling like the way that he had gotten at me was still doing it. And it felt like it was like literally eating me alive. And then the guy started looking, talking like me. Even the guy's girlfriend, she was making posts on the internet, and it was things that I was saying. Like my style, if they had stolen me from me, it was me. And I don't know if it was intentional or not, because we were all early 20s. But it was one of those moments where I have this huge creative breakthrough. And I'm free, and I feel like I'm this way bigger than myself. And then people will attack me. Including especially my family. They're the worst of it. My family's worse than the pedophiles. In terms of how sick they actually are and how far away from self-awareness they actually are. How settled into their lives they are. They can't realize their infinite potential. So they live in judgment, and that's how they make progress in their life. So I've been slowly, today, probably because my diet changed and I was drinking water, I was healthier, and I've been cutting back on the loon. Here's my crow. The crow had to come make his presence known, and then he got hit by a spiritual force and turned a 90-degree angle left. Loud machinery. Suddenly. But for a few seconds today, I felt like I had gotten a little bit closer back to where I was before, which is huge. I haven't felt that way in years. Every time I did, suddenly I'd get beaten and arrested and jumped, and I'd have to kill people in self-defense. I'd be attacked by screaming, wimpy liberal colonizers and tons of other shit. So today the only disturbance was a bunch of angry squirrels, which is different. So it's sort of like I'm like poking my head out of the cave. And I'm like, is it really safe? And then the crow dive bombed me just now. And then it got hit by some force like it did in the videos from my past where you can see the crows try to swoop at me and hit me, and then they get stopped by some invisible force. That still happened. I've always known comparison was the death of joy. And that I never compared myself to anybody else. But after trauma, when people compare themselves to me now, and they want to do this ego battle, trauma that put me in survival mode makes me have to think about it. And then it got me stuck. That song, I'm the Problem by Morgan Wallen, is playing in my head now. Which is the song like, you think I've got the issues. Have you ever thought maybe it's you? Maybe it's your fault that you think I'm the problem. I didn't bring my tissues. I brought my tarot cards. Num, 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 num. What's happening, Elric? I forgot my toilet paper. Sup, bro? Check out this view. How the fuck did these mountains get made, man? That's my question. It makes more sense that giant trees grew out of the ground and then eventually they fell. Like Devil's Tower in Monument Valley. I'll try, man. I couldn't tell if you were a hater or not. Fuck you, Can. Is that my bus? It is my bus. But they have to go up and then come back down. But if nobody was around, do they make a noise? It's impossible to be alone. The only thing that's truly alone is the infinite. This is my simulation, man. What I was just doing, like the last theme of, so 2 years ago, around this time, my aunt, who was an Aquarius named Melissa, was jealous of me because I got a new car, and they were hating on me because I live with Jamaicans, and my whole perspective on life changed. I was more confident, I talked less, I had more self-worth. I thought about things before saying them. I was real, and I was so far beyond their bullshit. They couldn't stand to be around me, even if I didn't say anything. And I watched them. It slowly ate my aunt alive. That I came back with a nice car, a car nicer than hers, and she lives in Section 8. But I'm homeless, so I had to be the bad guy. So they fabricated a lie to the police, and because of my aunt lying to the police, Melissa, I was arrested, and she tried to get my car taken from me the whole time. So I reviewed that arrest, and then what happened immediately after? But Hurricane Melissa forms, and now it's attacking Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Fuck this pathetic little piece of shit with a little dick. He had to prove himself to me. Yep. And I look back and he's staring at me like, did it work? Did it work? Because he's possessed. Yeah. That's the song my brother wrote. I don't think there's anything to it, but it's got the Masonic checkerboard. And it says, for the forward life. I found this buried today, and it's the same color that my dad wears. And I was like, man, I've been wearing stuff. My dad used to wear the green with the purple. And then I found the same type of green with purple flannel my dad used to wear. But I think his outside was purple and mine's green. If Leo rules the heart and the heart chakra is green, Leo would actually be a red and green fire. And they say Sagittarius is purple because of the philosophy, but the legs and the root chakra are red. And if Aries rules the crown chakra, isn't the crown purple? So I always thought that they had that wrong. The Sagittarius is orange, 33 Jupiter. Aries is purple, crown. And Leo's red and green. Like Santa Claus. That's separation. It's alright, man. There's some people in here that watch my channel that are worth like $500,000 and they make like a ridiculous amount. They make like $150,000 a year. And there were times where I'd be freezing to death and someone is in my chat bragging about how much money they made and the cool things they bought with their money. And they would comment on every single one of my live streams. And I was like, if you just gave up 1 week of your pay, it would change the next 80 years of my life. But it is what it is. The only thing I can't get over is, do I blame those people? Because if I had gotten those donations, I would have been able to go see my brother and I would have saved him. So do I blame Do we blame his death on the people that had the ability to help but watched me suffer while I was trying to get to a place where I could help him? And all I needed was like not that much. I was traveling looking for a place to buy an acre. And the first thing I would do once I bought that acre was get him, because he was having trouble functioning. But it was because he needed to live out in the woods. I set out to save everyone, and I found the cure for being lost, which is growth over consistency, writing your goals out, living the way that you want to live, having a relationship with the sun, fasting sunlight, probiotics, raising your vibration and meditation, going through your memories at night, learning how to imagine again, having a safe, comfortable sanctuary so your imagination isn't contested, so you don't get eaten alive by demonic parasites, so that you can continue to grow. Here's my bus. And then just diet, exercise, calisthenics, cold showers. There's Lee. Howdy, Lee. I know I've been on these buses for 2 years, but if I go with you to Shaw's, would I have to wait an hour for the orange, or would it?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I won't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking I want to go to Shaw's, but I want to get to the food shelf too. So I don't know if I have time to wait for the bus at Shaw's.